guys, week 3 is in the books. You want to know who to pick up off waiver wire? I got you covered. Going to go through every single position and tell you who I suggest. Now, some of them were one-week wonders yet again. They were targeted heavily due to an injury or something happened. So be careful, but you need to address your needs. That's what we're going to do here, right now. Going to go through every single position and give you guys the waiver wires for week 3. So very important episode here. We are 3 weeks in. There's a lot of studs and sucks. So go back and check an episode before, just did one. Don't miss that because a full review on all the Sunday's games. Now, I'm also going to talk a little bit here about Monday's games as well. A lot of guys crapped the bed, including my guy, Derrick Henry, so I got to rip into him. So waiver wire week 3, sit back, relax, grab a coffee, grab your steering wheel if you're driving. I hope you're grabbing your steering wheel if you're driving, for sure. Let's chill, let's relax, let's work through this together. Waiver wire week 3. Make sure if you are new to the channel, make sure you click that subscribe. Leave a 5-star rating or review if you're on Spotify and Apple. Really helps the channel, guys. Takes a minute of your time. Really helps the channel, all right? Now, I'm going to get to all the waiver wire picks. Before I do, this show is brought to you by, you guys know it by now, manscaped.com, Showerline 20. You guys are hearing me talk about it, but you haven't taken action, some of you guys. I know a lot of people have DM'd me and said, hey, I love the product. I'm starting to use the shampoo regularly, the body wash. Go try it, guys. In my hand, I'm holding the refined cologne. Go try the cologne. They've got cologne. They've got underwear, the Boxers 2.0. It's more than just the Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer. They've got amazing products, including this cologne, guys, manscaped.com, refined cologne. Go try the products. Use code SHOWERLINE20. Save yourself 20% upon checkout. That's manscaped.com, SHOWERLINE20. Try the body wash. Try the shampoo. You will be extremely happy with it. Go do that right now. Secondly, guys, you want to enhance that game watching experience. I know I was watching, and I know if I had enhanced my experience, I would have had a lot more fun during the games yesterday. Eagles taking it to the opposition, and also the Bills destroying the Titans. I mean, what a night. And again, it was a lot more fun because I did really well on mybookie.ag. Head on over there right now, guys. Mybookie.ag. The code you want to use is FFC. They will double your first deposit. So if you put in $250, you'll get $500. Yes, double your first deposit with the code FFC, mybookie.ag. This is the site I use, the site I trust. Write that code down. Go get signed up so you're set for Thursday Night Football, UFC, or whatever you watch. Mybookie.ag. The code you want to use to get that perk, right? Double your first deposit is FFC. Go do that right now, all right? 18 or over, obviously. All right, let's dive into this, okay? Let's start off with the quarterback position. We're talking waiver wire week 3. I can't believe we're week 3 already, guys. We are ripping through this. Now, at the quarterback position, let's dive into it. It's very slim and trim. Now, the only quarterback that maybe, again, this is why I hate doing lists. That's why I created the community. If you haven't enjoyed, patreon.com/FFcounselor, join, because we do more of a deep dive mastermind, because some of these players I'm going to list may or may not be available in your league. But I do this for everybody so you guys are aware, okay? So quarterback, we're talking Carson Wentz here. I mean, he's had 2 great weeks, 27.78 points last week. 46 attempts, 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, finished 5th amongst quarterbacks, probably available in your league, all right? Now, it depends. If you're in a 2-quarterback league, definitely not available. He may or may not be in your league. You got to take a look at who's the best available and address your needs. Now, if you're desperate for a quarterback, Cooper Rush had himself a good game, 13.6 points. You may want to consider him, 1 touchdown, 0 interceptions, may be available in your league. But with quarterback, guys, it's very slim and trim. I mean, you may want Justin Fields, but he had himself a crappy game. The guy doesn't throw the ball to save his life. Geno Smith maybe had himself 6 points. It's really slim and trim because the other guys may be taken. Marcus Mariota had a 13.44 game. He may be available in your league. He did throw 2 interceptions, but had 2 touchdowns, got some rushing yards as well. Not much, 16 rushing yards, but either way, 13.44 points if you're desperate for a quarterback. So that's it. You may want Jacoby Brissett in your leagues, 15.46 points. He may be available in your league. But Carson Wentz, Rush, it's probably slim in your league, but if you do need you're desperate for a quarterback, maybe you'll grab him. I mean, I had some struggles with my backup yesterday, Matt Ryan, or this weekend. I may want to consider one of these guys over him, all right? Running back, again, very slim and trim, but there may be some options here for you if you pick through the slim pickings here. Daryl Williams, believe it or not, guys, Arizona, I mean, with Connor being banged up, I haven't looked at how long he's going to be out, but 14.2 points, guys. Daryl Williams may be a consideration for you guys if you're desperate for a running back. Still may get some work if they limit Connor. It depends on how long he's out. Again, I have not looked at the injury. Go take a look at that. I have no Arizona stock. I'm not rostering Daryl Williams. I went robust RB. I'm good. But if you are desperate, Daryl Williams finished 11th amongst running backs yesterday. Again, he had the 6 attempts, 59 yards, and he had that 1 touchdown. So he may be inflated, predicated on that. So just be careful there. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else. Eno Benjamin, also Arizona, had 8 attempts, 31 yards, did not get a touchdown. So that's the difference between those guys. Had like 8 points. Nothing to get excited about at all. Other guys you may want to consider. Mark Ingram had himself a decent game. May want to consider him as well at the running back position. And Tyler Algier made his debut. A guy I was telling you to stash. It didn't look too amazing, but Tyler Algier is a guy you may want to consider if you are looking at a running back and you are desperate. Now, Algier had 10 attempts, 30 yards. That's it, 3 points. Not exciting, but it's promising to show that they are using that running back because they don't have any running backs. They have Patterson, but that's pretty much it, right? So Algier got us some attempts, didn't do much with them, but there is some promise there. We know Mariota likes to run the ball a lot as well. Now, again, be careful because this is not a guy you want to start, but maybe a guy you want to stash if you are desperate for a running back. So again, like I said, Mark Ingram, Algier got to start. I'm trying to see if there's anyone else at the running back position. I think that's it, man. Daryl Williams. Like there really isn't much to look at the running back position. So this is why I said go robust RB because it's very slim and trim, especially here. We're in week 3 waiver wire. Now, what you're going to know here as we move forward is that after week 4, 5, 6, you should be set with your starters, right? I really don't look at the waiver wire hard after the first 4 weeks. Everyone who's broken up should be broken out. Now, there may be injuries to your guys or other players where a guy slides in and up the depth chart where their value becomes more than you may want to pick them up. But as of right now, it's very, very slim and trim at a lot of positions already, and it's only going to get slimmer and trimmer as people break out and more people grab them off the waiver wire, okay? So running back, quarterback, slim and trim. Let's keep going to wide receiver. Now, there is some people that you may want to consider. Garrett Wilson had his breakout, 14 targets, 8 receptions, 2 touchdowns, really emerging here with the Jets. This is really good, right? This is a guy that you may have stashed, okay? Now, is that going to continue? Possibly, possibly not. Now, he had 30 fantasy points. By the way, we're talking wide receivers, a lot of volatility. Adams, who had a good week 1, Devontae Adams, I was warning you about him, didn't have a good week. He had a touchdown to save him. And also Jefferson. So there's this whole debate that wide receivers is the way to go. Jefferson crapped the bed as well, had 10 points this week. So, yes, running backs are struggling. Dalvin Cook as well. Derrick Henry, again, going to that Monday night games, Derrick Henry struggled. He had a tough opposition. The Buffalo defense is for real, and his O-line obviously not the greatest, all right? But Derrick Henry fought, got a touchdown, saved himself a little bit, got himself, just under 10 points. But at the end of the day, I still like having those running backs over wide receivers because we had Christian Kirk, we had Amon-Ra St. Brown, we got Drake London, all these mid-tier guys break out or start doing well, and you've got your workhorse running backs where it doesn't work the other way. Once your wide receivers collapse, right? Once your wide receivers collapse, your Jefferson or your Adams or your Cooper, Cooper Kupp, they have bad games. You have no running backs. Your running backs are Travis Etienne or Chase Edmonds who've been crap in the bed, right? So it's good that you went robust RB. Don't be afraid, guys. It's only 2 weeks in. You're going to be good. All right, wide receivers, like I said, Garrett Wilson, Nelson Aguilar finished 11th amongst wide receivers. You may want to consider picking him up off New England. 6 targets, 6 receptions, not bad. Jahan Dotson, maybe he's still available, had 2 pretty good consecutive weeks, 5 targets, 4 receptions, and a touchdown as well. Greg Dortch, hopefully I pronounced that right, out of Arizona, 4 targets, 4 receptions, and a touchdown, 15.5 points in PPR. Another guy you may want to consider, Quez Watkins. I mean, let's be honest here, man. Hurts looked really good. Obviously, Minnesota crapped the bed. They look like garbage. 2 targets, 2 receptions, and a touchdown for Watkins. He had that big deep ball, 14.9 points. Rashard Perriman off Tampa Bay. Now, again, they always have injuries. They're moving the ball around, shifting, moving. Perriman may not repeat these numbers. He had a touchdown. So if you get Perriman, don't expect him to repeat this moving forward. So he could be fool's gold moving forward. So be aware of that, all right? Ashland Doom had himself a game, 13.2. But again, with Indy, Matt Ryan was a disaster. Pittman was out, so don't expect that out of him if you're looking at him saying, oh, he finished 31 amongst wide receivers. I need a wide receiver. Don't buy it. Josh Palmer, 13 points, finished 32nd amongst wide receivers. Obviously, with Allen being hurt, Palmer stepped up a little bit, had 8 targets, 4 receptions. May want to consider him either way as a stash because I don't know if I trust Williams being consistent or Allen, and you got a great quarterback in Herbert, so Palmer might be a viable pickup this week. Mac Hollins as well. Mac Hollins from Vegas, 8 targets, 5 receptions, 11.6 points. Not bad. Not bad for a guy that, again, on a team where they have a ton of targets, even beating out Renfrow, right? Renfrow actually ended up having more targets, 10 targets compared to the 8 of Hollins, but Hollins ended up just doing better, 11.6 points. He had the 66 yards compared to Renfrow with 59. Just did better. Just, again, putting up a little bit more points, 11.6 to 10.9. It wasn't that much of a difference, but if Hunter goes down or Adams goes down, Mac Hollins could be a guy to step up, okay? Jefferson, again, had a bad game. I have to bring this up as I'm looking at these wide receivers. Even Jamar Chase, 10.8 points. So, again, the wide receivers, early round wide receivers, didn't do too well. These wide receiver ones. Even Lazard didn't have a good game. He was a wide receiver 1. Devontae Adams, 9.2 points. Crap the bed. All right. Adam Thielen, 9.2 points. So, again, he wasn't a wide receiver 1, but you're seeing it here. And I keep looking here, right? So, again, with wide receivers, again, Mac Hollins, Palmer, like I said, Aguilar, Perriman, Greg Dortch. You got some options here, all right? Quez Watkins. But, again, address your needs and pick up players that you need. I do like the Josh Palmer pickup as well. Moving on to tight end. Now, tight end, as long as I get the 10 points, I'm good. Someone actually ended up dropping Gesicki last week. I ended up picking him up. Did not start him, but he had himself a good game. Mike Gesicki is a pickup if he's available in leagues. Tyler Conklin, Irv Smith Jr., Hayden Hurst, Logan Thomas, Evan Ingram are the tight ends you may want to consider as well. All right, I forgot to mention Noah Brown, wide receiver here. Noah Brown, how did he do here? I'm just going to pull it up here. Noah Brown, guys, pick him up possibly on the Cowboys as a week 3 waiver wire target. Had himself a decent game. Noah Brown, 5 targets, 5 receptions, 1 touchdown. Is that going to continue? It's a bit of a dart throw with him. But in week 1, he also had 9 targets. So he has been stepping up. You may want to consider him. He could come up. He did actually lead the wide receivers in week 2. Man, it's a bit of a crapshoot with him. But again, with Cooper Rush, you never know who he's going to throw to, all right? So there's a bonus one there for you, Noah Brown, if you want to consider him. He had himself a good campaign in week 2. He actually ended up putting up 20.1 points against Cincinnati. So Noah Brown. So what I want to get across here, guys, when you are looking at waiver wire here, is you want to make sure you address your needs. This is very, very important, all right? Also, now going into week 3, you should know who your starters are. You should know who kind of crapped the bed, who didn't. But you don't want to get discouraged. Again, Jefferson had a bad week. Don't necessarily get discouraged. Derrick Henry had a bad game. Don't get discouraged. You had a rough defense, right? Every scenario is different. Dalvin Cook crapped the bed, right? That's a guy I was avoiding anyway. So do not be discouraged by 1 week. Go out there, line mentality. And some guys are starting to get into the zone. Breece Hall starting to get into the zone, right? Dameon Pierce starting to get into the zone. So do not be discouraged, guys. 1 bad week for some people, one player does not mean that they're going to have a bad week moving forward, okay? It just could be a bad week for that player. Adams had a bad week. Like I said, Jefferson had a bad week. Dalvin Cook had a bad week. Derrick Henry. Najee Harris has been boring and, secure. Breece Hall had a mini breakout, right? If you're considering starting him, he had a 13-point game. He had the receiving touchdown. These guys are starting to come out of their shell. The first couple of weeks, guys, always a feeler at week. Even the 3rd week is a feeler at week. Don't get discouraged. You're going to do just fine, all right? Make sure you guys subscribe, thumbs up, drop a comment, question below if you got it. I'll try to get to some of your starts and sits questions and waiver wire below. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe and join the Patreon group for direct access. Patreon.com/FF Counselor. Go get it, guys. Week 3 waiver wire. I'm out.